Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a racing classic, Grid 2. This game is what I like to call a lost gem of the racing genre. Released in 2013, it's no longer available for purchase on Steam, which is a huge shame for anyone looking to experience it for the first time. But for those who already have it in their library, Grid 2 still packs a punch. So, is it worth revisiting this title in 2024? Let's find out. Grid 2 was developed by Codemasters, a studio known for their racing titles, and it didn't disappoint when it first launched. This game came with a strong mix of arcade-style racing and some simulation elements. It isn't full-on sim racing, but it strikes a nice balance that makes it accessible without losing the thrill of high-speed, edge-of-your-seat competition. Let's start with Career Mode. Grid 2's offline career mode is where most players spend their time if they want to climb the ranks and get a taste of everything this game has to offer. The career mode takes you through a variety of racing disciplines, from time attack racing to drifting, and you'll race across iconic locations like Hong Kong, Dubai, and the California coast. The progression feels satisfying, and there's a decent variety in the types of races you encounter. However, the campaign itself is pretty linear. There's a set path, and while the racing itself is exciting, you don't get much in terms of player choice or dynamic changes in the storyline. Now moving on to the Grid Online or RaceNet mode. This online mode added a competitive twist, allowing players to go head-to-head in multiplayer races. Even though the player base has dwindled over the years, Grid 2's online structure was way ahead of its time. You could climb leaderboards, complete challenges, and compare yourself to other racers globally. Unfortunately, due to the game's age and the fact that it's no longer available on Steam, finding online matches can be tough these days. But if you and a group of friends want to set up some custom lobbies, it still holds up surprisingly well. One of the cool features in Grid 2 is the vehicle showroom, both offline and online. Grid 2 includes a wide range of cars, from classic muscle cars to high-performance supercars. In the offline mode, you can unlock vehicles as you progress, which is a pretty standard setup. But when you jump to the online showroom, you'll notice a few interesting differences. In online mode, players could access exclusive cars and DLC vehicles that weren't available in the offline career. However, there's a downside. Since the game is no longer on sale, if you don't already own the DLC, you're out of luck. It's a shame because those cars added an extra layer of variety and personalization. Let's talk about the graphics. For a game released back in 2013, Grid 2 was absolutely stunning. The visuals still hold up today, especially when it comes to car models and track environments. Codemasters really nailed the look and feel of each location, with realistic lighting and beautiful textures that make each race feel immersive. Even on low-end PCs, Grid 2 manages to run surprisingly well, which makes it an accessible choice for gamers who might not have the latest hardware. And then there's the flashback mode. This feature lets you rewind time of during races if you crash or slip away, and it's one of the most unique aspects of Grid 2. It really allows you to admire the race from a cinematic perspective. If you're into video editing or capturing that perfect drift around a corner, the replay mode is your best friend. It adds so much value to the game and lets you relive your best moments in style. But while I've praised Grid 2 quite a bit, it's not without its flaws. Besides the linearity of the career mode, the game can feel repetitive over time. Once you get past the initial excitement, you might start to notice a lack of diversity in terms of game modes and progression paths. And let's talk about the elephant in the room, DLC unavailability. Since the game was removed from Steam, there's no way to access additional DLC content if you didn't buy it before. It's frustrating because there are some cool cars and tracks that would have added more depth to the game, especially for collectors and completionists. Even with its limitations, Grid 2 shows so much potential as a racing game that pushed the boundaries of what Codemasters could achieve back then. The solid driving mechanics, the cinematic replays, and the wide range of cars and locations are all elements that make this a game worth remembering. If Codemasters ever decided to bring it back or remaster it, I think it would find a whole new audience. For those of us who managed to grab it while it was free, it's a great addition to our libraries, even if it's more of a nostalgic ride now. So, would I recommend Grid 2 in 2024? If you already have it in your collection, absolutely. It's still a thrill to play, especially for fans of classic arcade racing games. It may have its flaws, but it's also a reminder of how good Codemasters was at making racing accessible and fun. If you're looking for a racing game with solid mechanics and cinematic flair, and you don't mind the linear gameplay, Grid 2 is definitely worth a shot. It's a lost gem, and I'm glad I had the chance to rediscover it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment if you've played Grid 2 or want to see more content like this. I'll see you in the next video, and keep those engines running.